Welcome back to the Casual Ethnographer. Today we begin a new three-part series exploring the deep symbolism of hair across cultures, stories, and identities. Hair isn't just something we style or cut. It is a living symbol of who we are, where we come from, and what we have survived. This first episode starts at the roots, literally and metaphorically, as we explore the meanings and mythologies woven through strands of hair across the world. Let's get into it. Long ago, in the Yoruba tradition of West Africa, the Orisha Oshun was revered as the goddess of beauty, love, and fertility. Her hair was said to flow like rivers, radiant and golden, just like the water she ruled. One story tells of how Oshun, in a time of strife among the Orisha, used her beauty and her hair to restore balance. She danced, braided her hair in sacred patterns, and sang songs that brought peace to gods and mortals alike. Her hair was not simply adornment. It was a conduit of divine power, a source of life, and a declaration of who she was. In many West African cultures, hair continues to carry that weight. It's shaped into symbols of tribal belonging, spiritual status, and personal identity. Each strand holds meaning, and every style tells a story. Hair is one of the most culturally loaded parts of the human body. It holds meaning, memory, and even messages. Across time and across the globe, hair has symbolized everything from spiritual power to social status, from resistance to belonging. Egyptian priests shaved their heads for ritual purity, while queens wore intricate headdresses to display divine right. Hair was also a connection to the divine. Gods were depicted with specific styles, often braided or adorned with gold and lapis. In Polynesia, certain hairstyles were reserved for high-ranking chiefs. Touching someone's hair without permission could be seen as a serious spiritual violation. Hair was sacred. It held mana, a kind of spiritual energy. The same idea appears in many indigenous cultures worldwide. Among Native American communities, hair is often regarded as a sacred extension of the self. For the Dine, hair is traditionally worn long and tied back in a CEO, traditional bun, symbolizing harmony and balance. Cutting one's hair is often reserved for mourning or spiritual renewal. In some Plains tribes, a lock of hair might be offered in prayer or burned ceremonially, a practice that persists to this day. Hair has long been a canvas for identity. Among the Himba of Namibia, women use red ochre and butterfat to shape their braids, telling the story of their age, marital status, and role in society. In 15th century Benin, royal court members wore sculptural hairstyles that signified political allegiance and proximity to the king. In the Philippines, pre-colonial warriors wore their hair long and adorned it with beads and feathers as a sign of valor. In ancient China, the queue, a long braid at the back of the head, was a requirement under Qing rule, symbolizing loyalty to the emperor. Refusing to wear it could result in execution, making hair a literal matter of life and death. Even today, hair carries deep political resonance. The afro became a symbol of Black pride and resistance during the U.S. Civil Rights era. Cornrows, dreadlocks, Bantu knots, these are styles of resilience and reclamation. The Crown Act, which stands for Creating a Respectful and Open World for Natural Hair, was enacted to combat discrimination based on hair texture and style. That this legislation is necessary reveals how deeply society polices what is considered acceptable. Hair can also be a site of trauma. During the transatlantic slave trade, many Africans were shaved upon arrival, a violent attempt to erase their heritage and identity. In residential schools across North America, Native children had their hair forcibly cut, severing ties to culture and community. In both cases, hair was used as a weapon of control. But hair is also a site of transformation. In Buddhist practice, shaving one's head can signify renunciation of ego and materialism. In punk subculture, a mohawk might be an act of rebellion, a middle finger to conformity. For survivors of illness or grief, watching hair regrow can be a marker of healing, a silent but powerful sign of survival. Hair rituals span every stage of life. In Hindu tradition, a child's first haircut, called a mundan, is a rite of passage believed to purify the soul. In Jewish communities, Hasidic boys often receive their first haircut at age 3 in a ceremony called the upsharon. For Sikhs, never cutting the hair is a tenet of faith and a symbol of divine creation. Even in death, hair has something to say. Bog bodies, naturally preserved remains found in the wetlands of northern Europe, offer haunting glimpses into Iron Age life. Some were found with intricate braids or styled hair, preserved for millennia. One Danish woman, known as the Elling woman, was found with a long braid measuring over 18 inches. Her hair tells us she was important and perhaps ritually prepared for death. Her final appearance was not accidental, it was ceremonial. And then there is gray hair. In many societies, gray hair symbolizes wisdom, experience, and longevity. In East Asian cultures, it can reflect honor and familial respect. Among indigenous elders, silver hair may be viewed as a sacred marker of knowledge, but cultural attitudes towards gray hair also vary. Some embrace it proudly, while others hide it, pluck it, or dye it, revealing tensions between aging, beauty, and self-perception. The graying process is natural, but the way we respond to it is anything but neutral. It can empower, unsettle, or liberate, depending on how we and our cultures choose to frame it. In the ghostly world of Japanese folklore, hair often serves as a bridge between life and the supernatural. Take the tale of the Kuchisake-onna, the slit-mouthed woman, who hides her disfigured face beneath long, flowing hair. She haunts alleyways, asking strangers if they think she is beautiful. Her hair hides horror and beauty, reflecting the fear of the unknown. In contrast, traditional No theater uses wigs to distinguish characters from the spirit world. Long, flowing hair in these performances isn't merely costuming, it signifies emotion, liminality, and passage between worlds. In Japan, hair is a boundary and a beacon, signaling presence even when the voice is silent. You may notice my hair is just a little bit different from the last episode. After years of growing it out and highlighting it blonde, I decided it was time for a change. So it's now shorter and redder, and I'm enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. My stylist name is Stephanie Benedict, and you can find her and many other talented stylists at Hairvana in Port Orchard. I will include the details for that salon in the description box. I'm so glad you've joined me for this journey into the symbolism of hair. In this series, we explore how something as seemingly simple as hair can carry stories of culture, resistance, memory, and meaning. And a quick note before we go. Out of respect for certain cultural and spiritual practices, you may notice that some images, such as ceremonial hair burning traditions, do not appear in this episode. Where I couldn't show, I aim to describe with care. And I thank you for walking that line with me. As always, thank you for being here. I appreciate your presence. I'll see you next time.